Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Devotion for Microsoft Windows. The game is only available on the Red Candle Games eShop, link in the description. Devotion is a first-person psychological horror game developed by Red Candle Games. Devotion is set in Taiwan in the 1980s, with the story unfolding in an apartment complex in Taipei. You play as Du Feng Yu, a screenwriter caught in a surreal series of scenarios. So what is the game like to play? Well, control-wise it's very basic, with only the ability to move, interact or use a lighter. Core gameplay involves you exploring the apartments and corridors for points of interest. You'll find items, documents or other such things that will give you clues as to how you progress to the next chapter. The game takes place over a surreal timeline involving the family members, and you'll slowly piece together fragments of the past to understand the bigger picture. Horror plays a big part here, with moody locations, creepy lighting and dark twisted moments. You'll encounter creepy dolls, ghosts and some truly unnerving situations in the varied apartments. There were a few really good jump scares too, and one of them in particular got me good. So it's a very twisted, surreal and strange experience as you slowly try to understand what is really going on here. There are a few puzzles here and there, with most being very straightforward. To be honest, I was hoping for more of a challenge, but unfortunately I can't say any of them required any considerable brain power to solve. So in summary, gameplay wise, you spend most of your time wandering around creepy corridors looking for interaction points or items to collect. Place the items in other locations, then proceed to the next avant-garde section of corridors, rooms and disturbed scenarios. Visually, the game is very impressive, with a sort of detailed and tactful game world. Although you're essentially spending all your time in the same place, it changes over the period of the story as the timeline progresses. The lighting is fantastic and adds this real depth to the scene, and it's a very creepy game world to explore with some really genuine, surreal and twisted situations. In terms of sound, the game is exceptional, whether it be the ambient sound effects being perfectly pitched in terms of tone and distance. The voice acting is decent without being spectacular, but for me, the standout here is the musical score. I'm a bit of a game soundtrack collector, and Devotion has some fantastic tracks in there. And it is not a big surprise to me, because Red Candle Games, they're very good at music matching from my experience with their previous work. Okay, what's good and what's bad? What's good? The visuals are atmospheric and moody, it has some genuine jump scares, the soundtrack is immense and it's very effective as a psychological horror. What's bad? The puzzles are incredibly simple, the narrative becomes muddled in the latter stages, the final third of the game was a little bit underwhelming when compared to the strong start, and the whole experience lacks any considerable challenge. So what's the verdict? Overall, Devotion, it's not bad, but it's not amazing either. It feels a little bit dumbed down when compared to their previous game called Detention. Yes, it's a visual improvement with a wonderfully creepy atmosphere, great lighting, and it's got real aesthetic flair. The sound work is flawless and it's got some really good jump scares, but on the whole I found it a little thin in terms of gameplay. The puzzles were far too basic, the narrative, although interesting at first, becomes a little convoluted as you progress, and it's a game that's more about the experience than the core gameplay itself. You get to walk around these creepy rooms, observe some really bizarre stuff, pick up some objects, read documents, solve a few basic puzzles, and before you know it, it's all over. So it's not a game that's got any real long life, but for a short atmospheric psychological horror, I would recommend it. But not for players who want a challenge or in-depth gameplay. This is more about atmosphere, this is more about experience. So my score for Devotion is 7 out of 10. Okay, that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer signing off. Thank you.